And we're back. Game number 2 of our last best of 3 of the night. Going to be LGD Gaming taking on Tongfu with LGD up 1-0. Tongfu really looked like they were going to be in decent shape. At least we're going to have themselves have a chance to make a big impact for themselves in the mid-game. Instead, LGD just seized control in the back of very nice play, in particular from In July and Siler, and just ran right over them. Moving ahead to Game 2, they're going to look to repeat that success. Tongfu, in the meantime, well, they'd love to see a Game 3. I'm AC. Welcome back once again. Trouf lending his insight and analysis. Going to be a Skywrath and a Death Prophet to lead off for LGD this time. One of your favorite heroes, Trouf, the Brewmaster's first pick for Tongfu, followed by a Nature's Prophet.
I mean, I love those heroes, Brewmaster and the Furion. Fantastic. Very... Very standard stuff all around. I'm still waiting for those games where we saw, like last night, where like Spirit Breaker is picked and used to great effect. And what are some other heroes? I mean, we've seen like TB banned out almost every single game. I think every single game we've seen last night and tonight.
Yep.
So we're not going to see that too much. But what else is there? I mean, let's get some variety here. LGD and Tongfu. What can you put on the table? I'm waiting for that. I mean, the last game LGD kind of put something a little bit different. Wasn't like quote unquote standard. It's not that we haven't seen the Spectre, but the pairing with Spectre with the AA and the Venge was a little bit new. It was fun to see. Hoping for more of that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, this is the time. You know, I don't know though.
They want to win though, right? So whatever.
Right. Well, that's the thing is like there was a time you go back even to pre-TI3 where there were definite periods where teams could just screw around and experiment because they'd be playing in tournaments that were like more isolated cups or more and just not like involving lands and bigger prize pools and stuff. Now it seems like every time a team plays, if they've made time in their schedule to play with a caster broadcasting it, it is with something rather important on the line. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be room for experimentation, but early on in a tournament's lifespan, probably not it. You know, if LGD can get to their last best of 3 or 2 and say have a spotless record, then maybe they'll look to do some pocket picks, feeling assured that they're going to be in good shape either way. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, though, it's still fun, for me anyway, to see the new meta develop. It's still a lot of fun to see heroes like Skywrath, like Void, who we see banned, being paired with unconventional stuff with heroes who are maybe a little bit better now than they were 6 months ago in terms of fitting in with the current meta. So it's always fun to watch professional players do really well with heroes we all like to play.
Well, they did ban out the Batrider this time around, and I think that's a smart decision from Tongfu.
For sure.
And I actually really like this Slark ban. I didn't think about it too much until just now, but Slark would be a really good hero against Brewmaster, because once he goes in with a clap and ulti, you just ult and run away, or you can just pounce away. So that's actually a really smart ban. I wonder if they experiment more or play with that interaction between the Panda and Slark a lot more in the Eastern scene or not, because I don't see it too much in the Western. Not to say that I haven't. But yeah, I like that ban. And the Centaur, so more standard stuff, so to speak, coming out from LGD with a Centaur coupled with the Skywrath. Very strong combination. So, yep, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, I like the fact that with the front 2 as well, the Brewmaster was picked up by Tongfu, who did have first pick. And then immediately you get a Skywrath and a Death Prophet, 2 heroes that are strong on their own. But in terms of having options to try to kill off a Brewmaster, you've got 2 of the best silences in the game, 2 of the most instant, reliable silences. One's an AoE, one's a single target. Oh, wow, a Tusk. That's going to be fun. We'll get to that in a minute. But for Tongfu, they grabbed the Shadow Demon, too. And the Shadow Demon works against what I was just talking about, the Skywrath Mage and the Death Prophet. They silence the Brew. Shadow Demon just disrupts him, and then he can split whenever the disruption wears off. LGD, though, with the Tusk, I'll tell you what's nasty, man. I'm not saying it's going to happen. One of the nastiest things that I've ever seen is a Tusk, Centaur, and Skywrath Mage can work, but really a Dazzle. You could end up doing something weird like a Skywrath mid, a Death Prophet solo safe. Aggressive pressure with a Tusk, a Centaur, and a Dazzle. I've run it, and it's really, really fun if you can do it right.
Oh, it reminds me of, I believe it was last season where we saw Cloud9 run it with the Axe.
Yep.
It was the Axe, Tusk, and the Dazzle, and it just obliterated. You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if Tusk gets more movement speed on his Snowball with the Centaur ulti. I wonder if that interaction works.
It does.
Okay, that's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. It's actually really, really strong. It's something that Whenever you're playing with your buddies and you lose 2 games in a row and you just want to go pub stomp, it's one of our favorite, terrible MMR anyway, pub stomp things is Centaur, Tusk, and Dazzle. Like, it is so nasty, man. Really is.
I know, I'm really curious. Okay, first of all, I'm wondering if Tusk already starts the snowball and then if the Centaur stampedes, if he gets the movement speed. I'm also wondering if the stampede happens, if the Tusk snowball hits you, if it still, like, hits the stampede effect, or do you have to pop out of the snowball? This will be very fun to watch.
I think you have to pop out.
That would make sense. I'm still wondering about that first question though. If you can already snowball like this, like he snowballs the Centaur with him, or you use the snowball, Centaur stampedes, and he pops in the snowball.
I think you have to stampede first.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, I think you have to. That's the way we always did it that way when me and the buddies ran it, but. Oh God, pick a Dazzle! I'll be so happy. I don't think it's going to happen, but
it could. Well, no. They already have Tusk and Skywrath.
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly. Like that's what I was saying. For them to do it the way I'm familiar with it, they would have had to have run like a Skywrath mid and a Death Prophet solo safe and then go aggressive. But that's not going to be the case. I would say it's still going to be strong with Skywrath. It did get nerfed a little bit, by the way, in the last patch. The change to the shards, the fact that they don't hit a target and then pop immediately, the fact that they pop on a point now. Makes it a little less reliable. But still, in a game with the Tusken, it's going to be a game worth watching. On the side of Tongfu, we've been dwelling on LGD for a bit. They grabbed the Luna. Very stable stuff, just a very solid carry. They're going to have a fair amount of team fight, but I don't know. Like, this is, like, when I look at LGD, they just feel kind of strong across the board, whereas Tongfu, I've yet to see everything kind of click into place, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I agree. I feel like Tongfu's lineup is very much... Let's hope the Luna doesn't die for 15 minutes, and then we'll be good.
Exactly.
and it's that, plus let's only fight with Brewmaster when he gets a blink. Because after that, we pretty much can't take fights. I love the Rubik pick. I always talk about how I love the Rubik pick. I think it's a great support in this meta, very undervalued. But I agree with you. I think it's very much based on the fact of let's hope Luna doesn't die, and hope for the best 20 or 30 minutes plus when we have a BKB up on the Luna. So...
I'm not, when I look at these supports, I'm like you. I love Rubik, and I think he is undervalued. Shadow Demon and Rubik are 2 heroes that
awkward
tend
combo.
to make, they're 2 heroes that make everyone around them better. And usually you go, well, Rubik plus this is really good. A Rubik and a Shadow Demon, it's going to do fine.
What do you do?
Sure.
You lift him back, and then Shadow Demon disrupts, or do you disrupt and then? I guess you can disrupt into lift. That would be the most appropriate. But even then, it's still kind of effective. But both those spells don't do any damage. So,
generally, I think it's like what just makes it feel so wonky to me, and it's 2 really strong heroes. Make no mistake. It's both of those heroes usually go, oh, that's what they picked the Rubik for, or oh, okay, there's a Shadow Demon and a Leshrac. Now it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like usually it's something like that. And just like both of those heroes usually occupy that. Oh, that's what it's with position.
Well, it's cool because like. Shadow Demon, it's like, with the Lesh, you can be like, okay, I can initiate with the disruption, then Lesh stuns. So that's our setup. But in this case, it's like, well, Rubik is already fantastic at setting up things because it's an instant, lift. So in that aspect, it's kind of awkward, I would say. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they make with it. I think their idea is just simply in the late game, Shadow Demon works very well with Luna because you can disrupt him and just get more illusions with the glaives. That's my thinking because they picked it in a pair.
Okay, what I would like you to do is talk about the lane matchups as it gets started. I'm getting that weird perfect world lag again. So I'm going to reconnect very quickly. Yeah, I'm just going to reconnect very, very quickly.
Okay, it's standard stuff it seems for now. It's actually, we might see a clash here in the bottom rune. I'm wondering why it doesn't use a disruption. Kabu, there is the disruption. It will be an illusion rune taken. That was this very weird play. They all went upwards to the Centaur as they disrupted them, and then the backside MMY jacked the rune, and then they're like, wait, get the rune, and they couldn't decide what to do, and they weren't able to make anything of it. So MMY jacking the rune. It looks like it's going to be an aggressive dual lane possibly coming out here from LGD with the Tuskar and the Centaur. And then some very standard lanes here from Tongfu. It's the offlane Furion, solo mid Panda, and the defensive Try with the Luna. And yeah, it's going to be dual lanes with the Ember Spirit farm in the top lane, actually. And the Death Prophet with the 2 pools of the Tangos setting up shop here in mid. And he should do quite good against the Panda. Panda taking a lot of early harass from Yao playing this Death Prophet. And Panda, as a result, he has to be very careful here. Does use the clap for some CS. And he'll have that ball coming out to him right now.
Yep, that fixed it. So glad we didn't miss the first blood. Sounds like it was kind of a wonky exchange anyway, but jumping back in, as you said, potential for aggression everywhere. A couple of dual lanes and July up front eating a little bit of damage. MMY is right there. Let's talk about this Tusk pick. How do you see them utilizing him here?
It's purely defensive, it seems. I know I've seen MLY run this a lot. He really likes this hero. If they go on the Centaur, he's just gonna snowball him and find a way to save his life. It's a little bit like it's awkward on both accounts because one of the things if they disrupt him, if he uses the snowball, he has to find a target, right? So if the creeps aren't forward enough, he has to bring the Centaur back with them. So he has to hope that the creeps are up far enough so that he doesn't bring the Centaur back too close to the enemy heroes.
Taking a look at CS across the board in mid, as you mentioned, it is Xiao and the Death Prophet going up against Red, who's playing our Brewmaster. Brew's actually being crushed right now. He's got 5 CS to the 11 of Yao. And that's not the start you want. Hang on, we're going to have some shards thrown out. That's going to catch Kabu. MMY right there behind him. Kabu can disrupt himself to buy time. Doesn't look like he feels the need to do so, as in July, little loath to over-pursue. But in the meantime, Xiao Luv is getting some free CS in lane, so at the very least, keeping them occupied.
Yao is applying a lot of pressure here. There's a regen rune that might be jacked by this Firo, and that's a very important rune jack. Like, if Yao gets that regen, oh, that's a world of hurt for the Panda. Panda is bottle crowing, and he's healthy right now, but Yao is just keeping
Rubik's trapped. They just can't get to him. Finally, they were trying to get through, and they ate a tree a little too late. He was trapped behind the shards and looked like there was either confusion or some pathing wonkiness. That could have been really, really bad.
That's also good for Tongfu because that means it's a mana potion here for MMY, and he's going to have to wait for a long time until he has 195 mana is what he needs for his combo.
3 minutes in, and all seems quiet. U9 doing a decent job at top. He's already close to level 4. But Sylar is the tops of the board in CS along with that Death Prophet right neck and neck. So LGD getting the best, it would seem, of this early game. And like you said, man, I think I couldn't have said it better myself. Just, like, keep the Luna alive for 20 minutes. We do that, it's fine. I feel like, I mean, you've got two very defensive supports in the Rubik and the Shadow Demon, but still, it's just going to be such a task.
I think they should. I don't know if they have smoke on one of them right now. I'm looking. No, they don't. I think they should have smoke. Like, these heroes, one of the things that you can do best. Oh, action. Oh.
Yep, first blood. Sylar actually got it elsewhere as we were watching here. So they end up bringing down 2. Didn't see what happened at top as we were watching the shards and the follow-up there at bottom lane. But Sylar also manages to find himself a bit of gold. He's got phase boots already, man. He is doing so well.
Yeah, I didn't touch on this point, but Ember Spirit's really, really good against Furion. Furion can't actually use his teleport throughout the duration of the Searing Chains. It doesn't work. I don't know if you ever tried. It's similar to like Puck's orb, like or it's either his orb or his phase shift, something, but it just doesn't work. He cannot TP out when that Searing Chains comes out. And another exchange of kills down there.
I was watching. Yeah. That was just odd. In July, stayed and fought and fought. They basically, he auto-attacked him all the way up to here, and then the Rubik rotated over, he spent the double edge, and then basically, he got the kill right before he died. So LPC got all of the credit for that, but that was just odd. It was a weird decision from the Centaur.
Yeah, and that's level 4 for Rubik. He's actually ahead of experience in the Centaur, so that's actually a pretty good exchange for Tongfu, I think. But yeah, as I was saying, the Ember Spirit, not only in the laning phase, but just in general, being able to just bully the Furion in the mid game, like just using a remnant to gain the vision of Centaur, or sorry, of the Furion when he tries to sprout TP. Can't do it. It's very difficult to play Furion against or Prophet, I should say, against the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I feel like so much of this game is going to be on this guy's shoulders. Red in mid. He has to do well. Up, hang on, bottom. LPC got dove under his own tower. U9's going to show up. Sprout on MMY immediately eats his way through. Doesn't matter. Loosen Beam and a couple of auto attacks make it a 1-for-1 exchange. Although the Centaur being around for that, I feel fairly sure they're going to be kind of happy with trading supports. Obviously, giving Xiao Love the kill there. Not the best in mid. We're going to have a gank attempt. This is going to be onto Red. He's been silenced out. He is level 6. He has split if he wants to use it. Yao making his way up towards the dire jungle and able to retreat. So 3 from each side rotating into mid. There's actually a 4th back there. That's U9 on the side of Tongfu. And this is a decent opportunity for Tongfu, I think. if they can keep pressure up and keep things happening elsewhere, this is going to free up the map for Luna, let her split push, let her farm. In July, really wants a Blink Dagger, but he's quite a ways away from it, so he's going to need some time to farm as well.
Yeah, it's funny. I've actually never really been too much of a fan of the whole 3 Null Talisman Blade Mail build that's been so popular on Nature's Prophet. And I don't know if that's what the Chinese do, but I actually feel like it'd be really good this game. Between the damage output from Ember, with his low HP in general, and the same thing with the DP. And even the Skywrath, for that matter. And on top of that...
Snowball onto the Luna. Let's see if they can make it happen. Follow-up Stomp's going to be on the Kabu. Good decision-making as they silence him out. Here comes LBC, though. They're going to lift him MY. Jalub taking some damage. They are feeling very tanky at the moment, but here comes U9. Sprout blocks out the Tusk. He's going to die near the side shop. And in July, now Siler shows up, and he's ready to fight again. There's going to be a concussive shot on the LPC. Beautifully placed. Searing Chains got them both. LPC's going to die, as will Zhao Love. As they got split up in July, going to end up feeding back. But now here's Red. There's the split. U9, close to death. Doesn't matter. The split going to be enough to bring down Siler for sure. So a bit of a cluster here in this bottom lane that ends up with a win for LGD. With LGD still leading, I should say. Tongfu expended quite a lot. But let's see. Yeah, the gold actually going in favor of Tongfu. The experience also in favor of Tongfu. So call that a marginal win for them.
Yeah, it was very nice. They got the Ember Spirit kill. The Rubik TP'd mid right away, so it wasn't too much damage to this tower, although Rubik does need to be careful for now. He doesn't know it, but the Skywrath is behind here. And if he comes up too far, but Yao's actually pushing this forward, so I don't think that Rubik will get caught. So yeah, I was worried. I was like, oh, if they lose this tower in mid, though, it won't be good for Tongfu. But there is no ultimate up on the DP. Actually, just skilled it. There was no ultimate up on the DP, so couldn't do any damage to that mid tower.
LPC spots out Faith. And he'll go ahead and cross back over to his own side of the river. Active game, 12 kills and just 8 minutes. And MMY in July might have a chance to catch at least one more. Yep, there we go. Snowball immediately used. Will it catch Kabu? No. Unable to connect for the mini stun. Now Stampede's going to be there. Shards blocking mini. Disrupts himself. LPC with the lift. Stuns both of them. Still just buying time. Kabu will end up dropping to an auto attack. But here's Red. Red not going to have the ulti. July taking a lot of damage behind that. Here comes the Eclipse, helping to clean things up. Concussive shot slows down the Brewmaster. Faith, Yao, and in July should be able to retreat off of that, and they will. So, another split-up fight. I was actually watching the Brew pursue. The Eclipse seemed to come in and really just wreck house on the stragglers in that fight. But in the end, basically, yeah, I'd call it about a wash. A slight win, very slight win for LGD if you go by the metrics. Yeah,
I feel like they were going to get more. I thought they were going to get more out of that Eclipse from Luna. Too. And there was maybe some miscommunication about what heroes they wanted to chase. I thought it was going to be a very nice wipe there from Zhao LV, but couldn't get off any more damage onto the second hero. I don't remember exactly who it was. But either way, yeah, only a 1-for-1 exchange. He does have a Midas, by the way, onto Luna. And again, you ask me this all the time. I'm always a fan of Midas. I think it's just...
Not even going to ask anymore. I'm just going to say Trouf is getting his way.
I'll tell you this. If I see a Midas and I don't like it, I will be the first to tell you I don't like it. But I think it's okay.
You are such a greedy carry player. I've only played with you a couple of times because I'm very bad and you're very good, and I don't want to inflict myself on you. But you are super greedy, and I love it.
I love Midas, although he has to be careful. He's in trouble. He has no ulti either. He is just dead.
Super dead. TP reaction coming in. It's going to be LPC. Gets a Fade Bolt. Here's U9. Can he get a Sprout? No. Shot it blind. It didn't catch anyone. It was a good split from MMY in July and Faith as they made it through the tree line. They've got all 5 down the bottom. They got to be super careful. Siler moving up. They still got 2 here. U9 and LPC could be in trouble if they're spotted out. Yeah, Siler's going to be able to dive this very easily. Immediately runs forward. There's the Stampede. Mystic Flare. U9 going to die so fast. In July did get sprouted, though. Here's the ulti from Yao just to make sure any thoughts of coming in to try and salvage this are going to be ill thought. In July still very low. Kabu caught with the concussive shot. And he actually, yeah, he spotted him out. Here's LPC going to end up dead. They end up having a 2-on-1 exchange, but Red's going to come back in. Got silenced as soon as he came in. They're going to drop him fast. There's a disruption. He's going to be able to split off of this if he wants to. Not going to go yet. Blink up in 3 seconds. The rest of LGD will go ahead and retreat, though. So a bit of an odd one that time. As, yeah, LGD, they get the better end of it, but still feel like they could have actually gotten a lot more than they did.
Yeah, they got really aggressive on the center. I don't think he needed to double edge there. I think it actually hurt him,
Yeah.
like because he got so much. Like that Furion was not going anywhere. Like they used the Mystic Flare. I was like, even then, I was like, whoa, you don't need to use that because it's deceptive. You think that you can TP with the with your own teleportation ability away from the Searing Chains, but you cannot. You just sit there. And it takes a long time. Oh my god!
Blown up. Eclipse expended, and the split was there as well. Here comes Siler, wants to try to make him pay, does a good amount of damage, and Tusk rolling in. Disruption keeps Luna alive for the moment behind that Faith. Caught inside the Sprout, there's going to be a Mystic Flare, doesn't do much. U9 still hanging around, LPC has to run, has no mana. He's being pursued out, there's going to be the shards breaking the fight apart, and LPC, Red is actually going to help clean a little bit more up as well. Siler,
come on,
exactly.
Come on,
oh, man.
MMY, he's in a little bit of trouble.
Break
Can
that
they get
fight
him? They
apart.
got a blink in 1 second. There's the clap. He uses the snowball.
Oh, no.
Some
Snowball.
time.
Can they clean up Red? July's going to be there this time. And
that is why the snowball, and that is why Tuskar is picked right there.
Yep. Oh, U9 will be able to make it away. Siler right on top of Kabu, and the shards on point.
MMY, no! He got too greedy.
Yep.
Too greedy. But nonetheless, it's the snowball. It's not only being able to just get yourself out of harm's way, but you just sit there for like 5 seconds, I think is how long you can last it for.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Like, he just sits there, it's like, I guess I'll wait.
No.
I'll wait. Oh, your spells are off cooldown, team. Okay, crap, I'm dead.
It's a good thing I was trying to say.
Farts were split.
Yes, they were. They absolutely split the fight apart. Oh, goodness. At least I wasn't trying to say, at least I didn't try to say shards in the midst of all that. Probably could have came out much worse.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what might be said?
Oh, I've missed casting. It's nice to be back, and thanks to you for tolerating my incompetence.
Oh, I'm sure I've said dumber things.
13 minutes in, and Tongfu ready to make something happen at top lane. Everyone from LGD elsewhere on the map at the moment. They're going to teleport one in. And that will be Faith.
Oh, here we go. There's a backstab. Watch this. He can't. It's hard from the TP. He can't do it. He just sits there.
Yep.
And he got silenced too, so.
Done. Reactions are there, but the damage already done. Kabu there threw out the demonic purge onto Faith, and he's going to end up dead because of it. LPC was rotating around as well, but Siler's still just burning away. Now there's going to be the lift. Red right there with him. Red doesn't have his ulti, but will soon in 5 seconds if anyone else is coming. Looks like they're just going to cut their losses wisely, as Siler did make it away. And now Tier 1 in mid, under threat. And yeah, they're going to be able to push this and probably defend this Tier 1 top if they want to.
Yeah, they could. They have the Centaur ulti with the blink. I didn't even see that. So, it's a healthy tower up top. Shouldn't be in harm's way. Nicely played up. And as far as, yeah, it is going to be the, in this case, a double Null Talisman into Blade Mail build here for U9. Which I actually like I talked about these. Oh, here we go.
Cabo dead. Red's there to try and punish him. Doesn't matter. Like, that's one of the most frustrating things about an Ember Spirit.
And he has a regen, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, that's just a slap in the face. But yeah, it's like that's what it's so frustrating playing against an Ember when he can play so greedy and rush in with a quarter health and rush into dark spots and just be like, all I gotta do is hit R. It's fine. It's really not a problem. They do manage to get the Tier 1 top though. And
they have Panda Split and they know Exorcism is down. They should fight this if Yao keeps pushing this, and if they actually see the MMY here in the side because he was not smoked. Yeah, they're pinging it out. The other two were smoked, but MMY is sitting here. They might think it's a solo Tusk. Oh no, U9. This is not a good Furion game.
No. Disruption grabs in July, and there's a demonic purge to follow it. He's eating a fair amount of damage. There's that snowball though.
He has to go left though.
Oh, yep, there we go. There's the Eclipse doing some damage, but it was MMY who actually ate those Eclipse bolts. And in July, able to blink away. That was actually, did he have a point in Glaives?
What happened there?
No, yeah, he had a point in Glaives. Yeah, it was actually just a really quick blink. He blinked before the Glaive bounced from the Tusk onto him, so very quick
I mean, like, the Tuskar snowball stopped. Like, I don't know if it was targeting a creep that was there that it didn't see.
Yeah.
It like stopped. It was like going towards the Shadow Demon, but then it stopped right away. I'm gonna go back and watch that. That was weird. I don't know. I could be wrong about something. Maybe it was like a Luna. I don't know.
LPC gonna end up dropping very quickly. There was a silence to follow it, and they're gonna get at least one more on the red. Those silences again paying dividends. Yao And Faith, for the most part, have been able to keep the Brewmaster ultis from being very impactful at all. U9, in the meantime, going with the, I can call it whatever you want. I call it the pub build because I see it in every game.
The Euro build, that's what we call it here in America.
Here in America?
The Euro build.
At my awful MMR, I see it every game.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't see it too much anymore, to be honest. Actually, I don't normally play pubs anymore. That shit.
It's either that or Midas.
Everyone's in the trench, as you mentioned. Very good point.
But anyway, LGD continues to add to their lead. They bring down another tower, and now they're going to be able to take up station here in the Radiant Jungle and try to choke Tongfu out. And this is where things get sketched for the Luna. The Luna, as you had mentioned, gone Midas, has 1,400 gold tucked away, so not as if she's making zero progress. But her combat potential is very, very low. You're beginning to see these heroes feel quite strong against even Eclipse because they have so many ways to cope with it. They can also blow her up very easily. Tongfu is smoked and needs to win this fight if they manage to catch someone.
The reason why I think Midas is actually going to hold that thought is we might see an engagement here. As there is a Panda split available. No Centaur ulti for another 9 seconds.
Oh, this could be good. Red going to get the clap and the split off. They're going to isolate MMY. He's going to die immediately. And Faith sprouted inside as well. The ultimate goes off from the Death Prophet. Behind that, though, we see a Mystic Flare. And Yao and Faith both making it away with very little health. However, Faith caught from behind with the Panda Stone. And they're trying to just split this up. He's actually going to reassemble and got the kill with the clap. They might want to re-engage, though. Here comes In July. Doesn't have Stampede. He will. Oh, beautiful lift. LPC caught him before he could stop, but there's a two-man silence. And here comes Siler to help clean up. Kabu being pursued and burned down. And behind that, Jalove. One more will secure the kill. And now Red by himself. No stomp to knock him out of that. And finally, Siler does track down the other kill behind the fight. So, at the very least, they did get one away, but they lost a lot more than they could afford to. And, you know, it's the same story as last time, man. They take good fights, but it seems like just as quick as they start to gain momentum, they lose it again.
I really like LGD's drafts tonight. Like, I think they're just,
for real.
Like, they're a little bit different, but they're standard at the same time, and they're executing them exactly how they want to. Like, this is, like, right now is the perfect strength of LGD's lineup, and they're showing that. It's only going to get worse, actually, the next 2 minutes because BKB is going to come up on Yao, and he really has absolutely nothing to fear. Like, nothing. The right-click damage is not high enough on Luna, and I still think that Midas was the right decision because I don't think it's, like, early team fight items, quote-unquote, for Luna that's going to help them win these fights. I think they're going to lose the fights regardless, so why not just farm? Right. I think it's just the draft in general. We can go back to this awkward dual support combo. But also, I cheated. I went back in the stream because I was so curious about what happened. And what happened was, when the Tusk Snowball happened, it was on Disrupted Illusions from the Shadow Demon, and the illusions dissipated in the midst of the Snowball, so the Snowball just stopped. I was like, "What the hell happened?" I was like,
"That's a fun."
I was like, "Does MMY know something I don't?" Because that's Haxor if he could do that. But no, it was just a very interesting interaction there between the illusions of Shadow Demon.
Zhao Love is going BKB. He's picked up his Ogre Club. He's got 1,200 more gold towards it. I feel like they're going to have no damage at all. With the build, the Furion's gone. He's not going to be outputting damage anytime in the near future in particular. I mean, he's doing okay, I suppose. 128 per right click isn't terribly bad. Hold on. We're going to have Red caught out, and the silences are real as they follow it up and secure another easy kill. He's down for 40 seconds, and they're going to lose something of value. Definitely a tier 1. They might lose a tier 2 if they decide to press through.
Yeah, I just can't state enough how much I like LGD's lineup. Like, it's a combination of that plus this Luna has a lot on his shoulders. Like, it's not fair to him. She can't do as much as her team needs him to do. But it's also Luna, and as you mentioned, they can't fight without the Panda ulti. Like, I don't even think Eclipse is that good. Like, it's actually not good at all right now because they're 4 tanky heroes. The Skywrath is the only one that's not tanky. And among those 4 tanky heroes, you have the mana or the Flame Guard of Ember, which is going to suck up that damage, or absorb it, I should say. And you have a BKB on Yao. And even if he didn't have the BKB, they would still have the Centaur ulti to run themselves away from the Eclipse, and he also has Yule. So there's just so many good tools against the only, hero that could possibly bring the team back in the game.
And here we go. Siler got way up front. He's going to be caught telekinesis. He will be able to rim them away, though. And they just don't have any way to keep him pinned down. Yao's ulti does expire, and it looks like because of that, check that, they're just going to go ahead and engage onto poor U9, who is off by his lonesome. And that Blade Mail you're seeing does have some effect in July, of course, with the double edge damage on itself, plus the blade mail return. Pretty nasty stuff. Nearly nuked himself down, but I feel like Tongfu's just lacking in ways to actually do damage, and it's not going to be getting any better anytime soon, as Luna's only going to have a BKB 1,000 gold from now, and then she still has to try to build some kind of agility, some kind of damage, and it's going to come way too late as this Ember is getting large. He could have a crit stick to go up. Hang on, Zhao Love caught by Searing Chains, was trying to TP in the face of Sylar, actually just wasted his ult. That was kind of ridiculous.
No.
There was no reason for that.
Maybe frustration. It's easy to say in retrospect, oh god, this Furion's not doing anything, or what a bad pick that was. But first of all, Furion was picked up in the first two. It was Furion and Panda.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, most teams pick up Furion and Panda early on. It's just a matter of LGD countered it nicely. Like I talked about,
Yep.
Ember Spirit's fantastic. He gets Yules actually right as he TPs in. They're trying to chase, but they're slowed by this Trojan Sigil, which is maxed out, I'm assuming, by
strong.
MMY. Yes, it is.
Sigil's so strong, man.
It's a very good spell.
It really is. And it goes through Magic Community. We talked about that the other night. It goes through BKB.
Yep.
And looks like U9 dead again. And Sylar gonna rim that away again. Fate's gonna be there and hit him with a Mystic Flare. Is he gonna get another kill? No, surely not. That was an example of feeling a little too safe with Sylar around, and Sylar pieced the hell out and left you to be a snack. But 27-15, LGD seems to be rolling again in this match, and it doesn't look like they want to retreat to their side of the map anytime soon. Yao's going to be able to get off the silence, but not quick enough to prevent the ulti. Panda got the ulti off. There's a two-man Crypt Swarm doing some damage. Sylar re-engaging in. They don't seem scared of this Panda at all. They're just going to melt the illusions down. Sylar, feeling so strong, did pick up the crit stick with the Crystallis to go with his Battle Fury. And this Panda is going to end up dead in July, having another pretty solid game. And yeah, Red now dead.
I wouldn't be surprised if they GG out, actually, just because they not just because they've lost the game completely right now. Like, they still have all three of their outer two or tier 2 towers, but they have they have no way to get back in this game, and they do call the GG. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Tough day for Tongfu, and
what?
No idea. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
That was oh, the old spec pause. Was it a spec pause? Actually, I couldn't see.
No, I didn't either.
Whatever.
Either way, how about a solid win for LGD?
Yep.
As they improve to 1-0 overall in their first appearance here in D2L Season 5 play. 2 games in about 50 minutes, give or take. And I'm with you, man. I feel like their drafts, the way their execution's obviously going to be good. Most teams at this level can execute off the charts. But, so much of it just begins and ends with the draft, and drafting not only to your capabilities, but being able to draft something you're comfortable with, something you're effective with, and something that is going to be a complication for the enemy team. And Tongfu really just felt in both games like they were just kind of put their hands up, like, what do we do?
Yeah, and I thought they could have used some early smokes. They didn't buy early smokes in the beginning of the game. And I would say one of the best tools against the Death Prophet. I mean, the hero is very, very strong and is picked up a lot. But if you have ways to lock him down, it's very easy to actually kill him early on because his movement speed is so low. Yes, he gets higher movement speed with more levels into the passive, but early on it doesn't do much. Without the passive, he has 285 movement speed. It's very slow. And he has no escape mechanisms too. And they definitely have the tools to do that with a disruption and to like a Panda Stomp. And I think they should have that should have been their angle with the heroes that they had.
LGD found the angle they wanted and win their first match here in D2L Eastern Division play. Thanks so much for being a part of the broadcast, guys. I'm your host, Aaron A.C. Chambers. A pleasure to be bringing you this from our downtown studio. This is just day 2 of a long stretch of matches that's going to be going on for all this week. Then we'll have a little bit of downtime as we're going to make some room for a lot of the other lands and so on and so forth. It's going to be a brutal 2 weeks for Trout and I, but a fun 2 weeks for you guys as we're packing in 4 best of 3s a day over 2 weeks, entire stretch. And you can find our full schedule everywhere. Join Dota, Gosu Gamers, what have you. But most importantly, you can find it at d2l.gg. Check out the website for up-to-date standings, cool content, and all your information D2L related or otherwise. Also find the D2L on Facebook and Twitter. It's D2L GG. Our VODs at D2L TV on YouTube. So if you missed the action, you can catch the rebroadcast, which I'll be starting momentarily as soon as this stream goes off the air, or if you want to catch it at your convenience, again, D2L TV on YouTube. Trouf, my friend, it's been a pleasure to have you on, as it always is, and as it always will be throughout the remainder of this season. Make sure you check him out. It's at TraufDota, TRALFDOTA. And for me, well, I'm AC at ACAYESEE on Twitter and on Facebook and elsewhere. It's AC TV. Any thoughts on the way out the door, my friend?
Split your farts. That's all I got.
GG. What? Even you, man? Like, is it just picked?
It's just the fact that you acknowledged it after you said it that I had to say something afterwards.
Dude,
it was the fact that you acknowledged it gave it. It's ballpark. Anyone can talk about it. So.
Memes and such make it happen. All right, guys, again, we're back tomorrow night. We're going to be off Thursday, though, so get your Dota fix tomorrow night starting at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 a.m. for our European brothers and sisters, and, of course, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 best of 3s. Leading off will be Invictus Gaming, taking on Hyper Glory Team. Again, I'm AC. From myself, Trouf, and everyone else at D2L, enjoy your morning, evening, or afternoon.